Hello, this is Ashee from Crafting with Ashee and welcome to this video. This is the project I have to share with you today. It's this little bag and it actually folds flat for storage, so you can see you can open it up. You've got your little bag there, really cute, or when you want to store it, it just folds flat and can go easily in a drawer. Now the paper I've used today is the Dandy Designs paper, and this is a freebie from Celebration. So during Celebration, for every qualifying order you can choose a free item from the Celebration catalogue, and this paper is one of those freebies. So this was the one design I did here. Doing a different one here, I've cut down a piece of 12 by 12 cardstock to measure 7 inches by... It's going to have to actually cut it further down. I haven't finished cutting it, I've just realised. So this piece is going to measure 7 inches by, let's get our trimmer out. And I have here somewhere hidden my little template. So your cardstock is going to measure, your pattern paper rather, is 7 inches by 10.5 inches. So I've cut it already to 7, so you just need to cut it down to 10.5 inches. Okay. Whoops. And then those pieces there are spare. So let's bring back our scoreboard. So we've got 10.5 inches by 7. With my scoring tool I'm going to use you've got the small end, thinner end and a fatter end. I'm going to use the fatter end because it is paper and you don't want to be too hard with this and go through it. So you can see here where on the template, if you want to take a screenshot of that, you can, but it will also be on the blog post on my website. So I'm going to score on the long side initially at 2 inches, and then let's see where else I'm going to go to, 5 inches, 5 inches, 7 inches, and then 10 inches. Oh, just move this out of the way. 10 inches. Then I'm going to turn it onto the short side and I'm going to score at 2 inches. So now, still staying on the short side, you've scored your 2-inch line. Now you're going to go 1 up to 3 inches, but you're only going to score until you meet the first horizontal score line, which can be a bit difficult to see. But if you look at my template here, you'll see you're just going to score until you meet just that score line there. And then you're going to jump down to here and score again. So that's between. So I take it back here, you're going to see you scored at 3 inches down to the first score line. Then you're going to skip this big chunk here, and then you're going to score again at 3 inches. And then all the way down like that. Okay, so bringing back the template, you're going to score at 3 inches to the first score line, to your 2-inch score line, skip this big chunk here, and then score again, just like that. Okay, it's quite helpful if you make the template first, and it'll give you an idea of what you're doing. Now you're going to go to the long side again, and at 1 inch you're going to score down until you hit the first score line. And you're going to do the same again at 6 inches until you hit that score line. Okay. So if you look at the template, at 1 inch till you hit that score line there, and at 6 inches till you hit that score line there. Okay. And I'm just going to put the scoring tool away for a second. So you can see roughly where we are now. Now we just want to score these diagonal lines. So as you can see, you're going to go from where the 1 inch hits this score line here at 3 inches and to the corner there. So it can be a bit difficult to see, but just take your time and just go like that. And you're just basically creating a triangle. You're going to really struggle to see in the camera here, but you can see you're going to create that triangle there. Then we're going to do the same here. Okay. So now, easy bit, let's fold all of our score lines. Just take your time to fold them and find them. Sometimes it's not the easiest. Especially the ones that are only halfway down. Can be a little bit of a pain. It can almost be easier sometimes just to pinch with your fingers. So now we're going to do some cutting. And we're going to cut away this little tab, so this little 1/2 inch tab on the right hand side. We're going to cut up to the first score line, so cut up the score line to the first score line and then cut it away at a slight angle. Just like that. Do a better job of it than that. And then also just a very slight angle at the top. And then we're going to cut up all of these score lines at the base to the first score line. And then from each of these tabs, I'm going to just cut a very thin mitre cut. That's cut at an angle, extremely thin, as you can see. And this just helps it come together more easily if your measurements haven't always been exact. But you just want a very thin, as you can see, piece that you're cutting away. And then here, and the last one. Just like that. So now we can put our template over our piece and we can see they should match up like that, which is great. So time to put our box or bag together. Just going to put a little bit of glue on this 1/2 inch tab here. And then I'm just going to fold this over and line, make sure everything is lined up. as best I can, keeping everything straight as possible. Like that. So now my seam is at the back, here in the back left hand corner. So this piece here is going to be the front. So now I can fold in my flaps. And I'm just going to put a little bit of glue as I'm doing this. I'm just putting the glue on, I'm not actually pressing it into place, so this still gives me a bit of wiggle room, so that I can now make sure everything is squared off, stand it on its end, and then I'm just going to take my bone folder and go in from the inside and just make sure everything is nicely stuck down. Now if you see here, be able to fold your bag and it will fold up on the score line. So I'm just going to fold this down and give it a good press with my bone folder to make sure everything is nicely in place, and there you'll be able to see your bag opens up just like that. Okay, and then we'll fold on your score line. So now I want to put a little bit of decoration on my bag. So I'm going to put that aside. I'm going to bring in a piece of basic white, just some scrap. And now I'm going to stamp in Calypso Coral because I wanted a contrasting colour. And oops, I'll show you quickly the stamp set. Flowers of Friendship, and I'm going to use this one, Life is Better with Friends Like You. And just going to keep this straight, it always helps. Down, hold it, there we go. I'm going to give this a little clean. And then put this away while we're at it so we don't lose it. Okay, and this should have had a chance to dry now, so let's cut this out with my trimmer. And let's see, I'm going to do as usual, I just do things by eye, I don't measure things like this always. You could measure it if you wanted to, but for me life's too short for me to measure that. Whoops. I think I'm going to cut it a bit tighter. It's a bit too much white for my liking. So a little bit off the top. And the only problem with this is that you can keep on going until you've got nothing left, but that will do. Okay, then I've got a scrap piece here of Calypso Coral, and I'm going to stick this down and just in the corner here. And then I'm just going to cut this out using my scissors. Just like that. And let's pop this up on some dimensionals. So I get those. And this is a really simple, easy bag to make. And as I said, the template will be available to you, so I would make a template first before I started. It really is useful. It does make it much easier. Okay. Just going to stick that down on the front. Now, in a previous project you'd have seen me use these little flowers from the Petal Park Builder Punch. This is it here. And we punched it out of the same designer series paper as we've been using today. The whatever it's called, the dandy paper as I call it. Excuse me. Let me look up the name. Dandy Designs. So I have quite a few pieces spare, and so I thought I'd use these to decorate here the front of my bag. So let's have a look. We don't want the same colour. Let's use some of this lovely yellow. So let's put a dimensional. I'm going to use a baby one, I think, just at the base here. Take that off. Where's my glue? And then just a little bit of glue at the top. And then I can just position that like that. Change it so it's not covering the sentiment, and then maybe have one of these here. So let's put that there. Like that, and maybe one of these as well. So get rid of those and put that in place like that. So we have a few there, and then I'm just going to look for my rhinestones. What have I done with them now? Eek. Here we are, and I'm going to just use some of these as a flower centre. That's if the rhinestone wants to come. Okay, so that's your full flat little bag, all done. As I said, stands up easy to use, folds flat for storage. So I hope you liked that project. If you did, I'd be grateful if you could give it a thumbs up so YouTube knows, and please don't forget to subscribe to future videos. If you wanted more information about the project, as I said, it's all on the blog post on my website, and the links to that and all my social media links are in the description box below. So thank you for watching, and until next time, enjoy being creative. Bye.